Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got some major news regarding Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2. Netflix released this Inside the Dojo promotional video on Netflix.com that reveals a ton of new scenes and images from Part 2, so let's talk about them. I also want to say that these are not spoilers, these are not leaks, these are officially from Netflix, so these are all, nothing is spoilery in this video, but if you want to know nothing about Part 2 going into it, then click off this video now. But we get some dialogue from the cast talking about things that they're excited to see in Part 2, or that they really liked in Part 1, and they had some really interesting things that they talked about that I want to talk about before we get into the actual pictures. The first thing is Una O'Brien, who plays Devon, says that Part 2 has the biggest fight in the show yet, which is a very bold statement. We've had some major fights, some huge fights, like the ending of Season 3, the end of Season 5, the end of Season 4, really all of the endings. Season 2, the school fight was crazy. So to say that Part 2 has the biggest fight yet is crazy, and I cannot begin to imagine what that fight is. And then the next line is Mary Mauser saying that every storyline you can imagine is in this season, and this season is basically the Cobra Kai buffet. So really, basically all bets are off for what we see this season. Everything is going to be here, and I cannot wait to see that. But now to the actual scenes and pictures we have from Part 2. The first one we see is Kai-Wan, or however you say his name, the student from Cobra Kai, showing off his, skills, basically to Miyagi-Do. We see Miyagi-Do students behind him, basically everybody but Sam and Devon. And, also something interesting is we don't see Tori with the other Cobra Kai students, so maybe those three are out doing something. I doubt it. After Tori, joined Cobra Kai, I doubt Sam and Devon want anything to do with her at this point. But, I'm really interested why those three specifically are not in, this shot. The next thing we see is very interesting, because we see a couple of students fighting at the Seikai Taikai, but something really interesting to note here is that this is a 2v2 fight. This isn't, a 1v1. We see two students from each dojo fighting, which is absolutely insane. Basically, tag team Cobra Kai. I'm curious if this is a captain's challenge or if this is actually just a bracket. If there is a 2v2 bracket, which would be crazy. I can't wait to see, who Miyagi-Do chooses. Is it going to be Miguel and Robbie? Maybe Sam and Miguel, Robbie and Sam. I don't know. But it's going to be awesome to see some tag team karate. And I can't wait to see what this is. The next thing we see is a training montage of Tori, or what I think is a training montage of Tori. We see her running on a track, around a football field. So maybe this is her, just training for the Seikai Taikai tournament, trying to, clear her mind because she has a lot of thoughts going on. Or maybe this is a flashback of something. I don't know. It looks pretty interesting. Nothing too crazy to break down, though. Just a training montage. The next thing is also something, that's not too crazy and not too much to break down. But we see Robbie and Tori at a bar. They're not there together. I think they just happen to be there at the same time. Obviously, Robbie looks really upset because Tori went to Cobra Kai after all they've been through, after everything that happened. She decided to still go back with Kreese and join Cobra Kai. And then Tori looks kind of upset also. Maybe she's having, some question. Maybe she's questioning her decision to leave. And maybe she's seeing that what she did is actually, causing major problems with people that she cares about. And then the next shot we see is Johnny and Daniel outside in Spain in some beautiful scenery. It looks like a pretty interesting shot. I'm curious what this is. Maybe it is them, finally making up. It's them trying to, settle their differences before the tournament begins. I hope it's that. I really hope that they finally just settle their differences after the constant arguing for seasons, after season after season. I really hope that this is the end to it. And these next two are actually pretty crazy. They reveal some pretty interesting things, or at least I think they do. We see that Chosen is back at the Seikai Taikai after kind of just disappearing after episode 3 in part 1, which I wasn't a big fan of, so I'm really glad he's back. Miyagi-Do is going to need every single sensei they can get to beat Cobra Kai, because Cobra Kai is looking dangerous, so they're definitely going to need Chosen back to help out with the training. And then the final thing that we see, I think, reveals something crazy. Nothing is confirmed, this is just a theory that I have. But we see Kreese and Johnny and Daniel all looking at something, and they look pretty nervous and, frankly, disgusted. And I think that this is going to be when Terry Silver makes his return. Everybody else in all of these shots look pretty happy and excited. And I think it would make a lot of sense that Terry Silver shows up as, a major investor and is giving this, big speech. Everybody else is happy about it, that there's this investor, but Kreese, Daniel, and Johnny know what's going on. They know what Silver's real, intentions are, and they know he wants revenge, and this is all part of his plan, and I think that this is the exact reaction that all three of them would have. But that's all the news we have regarding Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2. Make sure to let me know what you guys think about all of these new pictures that we got and all of these new scenes. What do you think is happening in all of them? And remember, strike first, strike hard, no mercy.